With the Mad Max Cobra Stitch style of bracelet, there's really three things you need to know. And that's going to be the Prusik knot, which is kind of the starting point here, the Cobra Stitch, and then the ending knot. And you can make that basic as an overhand or something a little bit more fancy. Either would work. We're going to jump into the first two parts here and cover the third later on. First thing you want to do is find the center point of really each of the ropes. The red, in this case, is going to go around my wrist. So. And with that, you're going to need to start off with making a Prusik. So I always make a loop, or that's really a loop in my line, right at the center point, and I'm going to pinch that between my pointer and middle finger. And then you're going to take your other hand and you're going to take these two ends and feed it through this. So you're going to feed it through twice, and you're going to wrap around your fingers here. I like to split that a second time and let these next two kind of split the rope here. Feed it through again. And at that point, you've pretty much made the Prusik. So you're going to pull out your middle finger, which isn't really needed, and pull it tight. And at this point, you've made the Prusik knot. And it's a basic Prusik. It's not something that you're going to save your life with, but it's something that it's going to cinch down and be perfectly fine for your bracelet. Once you've done that with your finger, you're going to take these next two, and I always like to make sure I keep these so they aren't crossing over each other a bunch. And then these two lines are going to go into that Prusik and replace where your finger is. At that point, cinch down the Prusik. It always is good to take time to make it look nice the first time. So I always like to have it nicely pinched down. And then when I start this bracelet, I always like to have the Prusik with the loop facing me. You're going to take your second color, whether that be red or black or whatever you have, and you're going to find the center point again. Now on that center point, I'm going to put this directly underneath the loop in the red. I have a shorter rope because I'm using this as an example. This would be the longer of your two ropes, so it'd be your 75-inch section. And I think I forgot to mention this would be your 40-inch red section and your 75-inch black section, or whatever colors you have. It'd be 40 inches and 75. At this point, I'm going to split this. And then I always seem to like starting on my left hand and moving to my right, and then vice versa, alternating from that pattern. So I'll do that now. You're going to take this left hand string, and I'm going to put my finger right on this side, and I'm going to make a loop. It crosses over the top there, as you see, and there's a loop right where my left hand is. This right hand, or the starting strand on the right hand side, is now going to go over the top of the strand that you just crossed, and then under all three of these sections and up through this loop here where my finger is. So if I was to do that, this is going to go over the top, under these two, and then up through that loop. So under all three of those things, as you see, and then up through here. And then at this point, you're just going to pull it tight. I like to cinch it down right up next to the Prusik, and that keeps it nice and tight. And as you see, there's now a little bump right there, and that's my indicator to where I start my wrappings every single time, or my knot every single time. So because there's a bump right there, this is the next section. It's going to alternate. So now this crosses over, and my left hand rope is going to go over the top, under all three, and up through that loop there. And you pull it tight. As you notice, or when you notice, there's a loop right there, or a bump right there, and now the bump is moved. It's bumped over to the other side. So this will alternate my pattern so that I want to keep it flat. Cross over. Now I'm going to start speeding up, and I probably shouldn't. So now I've crossed over. This is going to go underneath all three and up through that loop. As you can see, that bump jumps sides each time, and that's what's keeping this to be a flat braid. If you keep doing it on the same side, it's gonna create a spiral weave all the way down, which is really cool, and you can totally try that. We're just doing a flat braid today. There you have it. You're gonna keep on going around until it fits snugly around your wrist, and then you'll tie it off with the regular knot and go from there.